Hello, everyone. I am Enemy. I'll be doing commentary here for this Donkey Kong Country all stages run provided by Shema.
Hello.
He's going to be doing the play-in. Hey, he pulled the short straw on this one. We had an internal power struggle about who had to run this game today to help fill out some ongoing issues with this particular day of scheduling. Today has been a little bit of a nightmare day, but we're pulling through to bring you all the hot Retrothon action. And who doesn't love Donkey Kong Country? No one. That's who. Some people actually do not love Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah,
that's okay. We'll forgive them.
All right, let's start us up in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. See if I remember all of this.
Yeah, that's always the trick. There's a lot to do in this run. A lot of different things to remember. It's a little bit longer than some other games that I think you and I are both used to. So it's just a matter of getting back in that driver's seat and making sure you can do about as much as you can.
Yeah, learning-wise, this was definitely the hardest for me so far.
Yeah, it's a very technical run at an especially high level. So we'll see what we got here today.
Start the timer?
Oh, I guess not.
Oh, I'm still in the timer options. That's why my hotkey didn't.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Still not starting.
Come on, timer.
There we go.
Get your act together. All right.
Well, this is a good beginning.
All right, so you see Shema there. He's trying to do his cartwheels off of the platforms that'll allow him to keep his momentum going. You can chain them together in such a way that you go really fast, and that's good for a speed run. So he's going to be trying to do that as much as possible. There's all sorts of wacky tricks that we'll see later on in the run. For this first stage, not too much foolishness to it. Just pretty much trying to get through as quickly as possible. But you will see, I think, in this next stage, some of those really fast cartwheels when he chains them off of enemy attacks, as long as this all goes well. So that would see one there. Okay, so Shima is just bouncing off of the Kremlins right there. And there we go. So as you see him pick up that speed with each subsequent hit on the Kremlins. There's more of that to come throughout the run, I can assure you. Alrighty, everybody get excited.
Now it's time to relax.
That's right. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a ton that you can do to speed up the water stages. There are some, what I would consider more subtle movements, and getting on guard just right. You can get a little boost as soon as you get on him to move a little bit quicker right away. But aside from that, there's no faster movement than using on guard in the stage. There's no wacky tricks to skip sections wholesale. So Shema just has to mind his movement and try to navigate through the stage as quickly as possible. Pretty straightforward in that regard. And this is, of course, the first of several water stages. Not a whole lot going on in this one. Just some great music, as we will hear throughout pretty much the entire run.
Yeah, you can optimize, like, on a really high level, you can save a few seconds in the water stages, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's all about, like...
Just cutting every corner exactly perfectly, basically. Oh, excellent jump roll from Shema there. He goes up and over the palm tree, and that gets right up to the next barrel to send him over. So now he's going to bounce off of this Kremlin that jumps up and grab that barrel and just skip the entirety of this stage. Saves so much time rather than traversing along the barrels that are underneath of him that rotate more slowly. And you have to follow that whole wacky path. None of that. We're just going up and over the whole stage. And we get to our first boss. This is kind of to me, kind of the big underwhelming aspect of the game. The bosses are basically dead simple throughout the game, and you see 2 of them reused. So, you know, that's kind of the one area where I will agree with people who don't necessarily love this game. But it does let you breathe a little bit as the runner. It takes a little bit of pressure off. Because the bosses do get crazy in the other DKC games. Alright, so this is Winky's walkway. We're not going to use Winky, though. And I mean in the entirety of the run. Winky is the frog. And he's really not going to help us be faster, so he's got no use for us in this speed run.
He is super slow and doesn't do anything useful.
Yeah, if you want to get to some bonus stages, he's your guy, but aside from that. Alright, here's Minecart Carnage. I love the minecart stages in this game. I genuinely do, but they are slower. So as you see right there, Shema gets through the secret barrel, and he's done with the stage, basically. Just has to jump over the one, I forget what the Kremlins are called when they're in the minecart, but yeah, they have some wacky name. Alright, we get to see more roll chains here. You just see, look at that speed picking up.
Yeah, there's also some kind of sip in this game. If you like roll into things where you should crawl, then
Yeah, so, yeah. If you hold, what is it? It's like if you stay jumping when you get in there, like hold down and stay jumping, you will maintain your jump animation, which is faster. But then if you get, well, you don't have to get to the halfway point, but if you get to the halfway point of the little narrow corridors, it will zip you out to the right side of the corridor, which is ideal because we're going left to right in this stage.
Okay.
All right, stop and go station. This is a great stage too, because you just hold left and you start, and you're basically done. All you have to do is navigate a couple of these these rock dudes. I apologize. There are people out there watching that know all of the names of the Kremlins off the top of their head, and they're just losing their mind. I apologize. Again, this was kind of last minute, so the prep was limited. All right, so we get to see a super jump. Oh no! Wait. Oh, you're not doing the super jump. Okay.
Nope. I have my
Okay.
own little...
That's right. Yeah. No. So there isn't like a way you're intended to do this, I guess you'd say.
Sure, if that's really intended, to be honest.
Well, I mean, you've got this tire here, and you bring it back over. So what? So you see him switch to DK there, and we're not going to see DK too much, but DK is the only Kong that can get into the barrel that Shema just jumped into off screen,
Yeah,
and that allows him to go right to the end of the stage.
You're not supposed to be able to bring the tire across. So I'm not sure why the barrel was there. I think it's just like for debug reasons or something.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so here's Neki. He's again. You just jump on him 5 times. He's there's nothing to him.
It's pretty dangerous. If you take damage here, you have to take a further time loss in the next stage. Which is this one. It also has like a warp barrel, which is a lot easier.
All right, yeah, here we go again, where you see how that barrel just appears out of nowhere when he's with Donkey Kong? Yeah, that's a Donkey Kong only barrel, as you may have suspected.
And he dies for his trouble.
Wasted. Yeah. No respect, I tell you. Alright, so Shema's gonna bounce off of the vulture, or the Neki, and hit another barrel that's up high, and that'll send him to the end of the stage, which is great, because Treetop Town is kind of a stinky stage if you have to do it normally. Yeah. Okay, now Forest Frenzy, which is where we're gonna see, I think we're gonna see our first super jump in Shema's run here. Because it actually does save a lot of time, even though the stage ends up being an auto-scroller anyway. But when you do a super jump, the way we're going to set up here, you're going to see Shema take a hit right there, and he's going to... And you see how Diddy jumped off the screen, like, really high and disappeared? Well, that is stored so that when you hit another jump from the respawning character, if you don't jump up in the air, if you just hold the jump button and then walk off a platform, you hit the enemy and you go flying up into the air because that is stored in memory, and now you just go up and over the whole stage. And Shema's moving higher and higher as he goes. He lets go of the jump button eventually. I think he actually just did it a little bit ago while I was talking. And now he's starting to descend, but he's so high up in the air that it's going to take him till nearly the end of the stage before Diddy falls. So we're just skipping over all of this. We don't have to ride the ropes. We're going to land right about here. There you go. Perfect. And then be done with the stage. So that is our first super jump of the game. We'll see a couple of those throughout. Now, I am not sure if we are going to see the espresso, excuse me, straps are not here. It looks like yes, we are.
Good on Burp. The Bird Record doesn't use that because it's faster.
No. Yeah.
Because they are crazy. Like, there's so much stuff in this game that you can do.
Yeah, there's so many like frame perfect strats that you can do. Do super rolls and all sorts of wacky stuff that it's maybe not what we're going to see today, but it is very impressive, and it's good stuff if you want to check out those runs as well. There's one of two stages, I believe, where we're going to see Espresso used for this run. The next one will be in Ice Age Alley later on, and that is a little bit of a wild stage with the bird. Okay, so yeah, so we're not going to go to the next stage. We're going to go back actually to the beginning of the game, and we're going to actually do a rung warp. What happens is, yeah, well, you're going to go to the stage eventually. Yeah. You're just going to go to the very end of it. So what Shem's going to do when he gets to the corner here, and he gets it first try, perfect. So what he's doing is he's mashing the button like he's entering a stage, even though that's obviously not a stage there. But because there is a 1 frame pause when he's navigating that corner on the map screen. So that pause, that 1 frame pause, if he hits the button right there, he will go into the stage, such as it is, which takes you to the very end of Orangutan Alley or whatever it's called. And yeah, so that's how this qualifies as all stages, even though he really played very little of that stage. Although I think technically you probably played more of that stage than you did either Minecart Carnage or Stop and Go Station. So it all works out.
Gotta watch out for the snipes.
Oh, just avoided that shark. That's good. I think the sharks are called chomps. I think. Because I think the baby sharks are Chomps Jr. or something like that. I don't know. See, so Shema has switched to Donkey Kong there, and that actually makes him be able to jump straight up in the air and hit the zinger, the giant zinger, king zinger, straight away. He doesn't have to throw at him. He gets a little bit more height there than he would out of Diddy. You don't have to do it that way, but I like to do it that way too. It does make it a little bit more convenient. And you see, he just has to wait. He just has to wait for the iframes to go away, the rage mode to go away, and then put him down. Get that quick swap back over to Diddy there, so we can get things going in the ice stage.
Alright, this is where the game casually gets pretty hard.
Yeah, it definitely scales up at this point. Gorilla Glacier.
Also, this stage is a horror to learn. Like, there's so much, like, little things. Like, for example, this one, it eats your input sometimes, and then you just walk off.
It sure does.
That took a little bit slow there.
Yeah, he doesn't want to roll into the clap traps by accident because you cannot roll into them without taking damage. You have to jump on top of them. So he's being diligent with that. And then just going to navigate these barrels and get over to this checkpoint here in just a moment. And you're going to see the bitrate get all cruddy because that snow's going to come down even more. This is the Bubble Man stage of Super Nintendo games, I guess.
Yep.
All right, so there's our checkpoint. Now we get to do something cool. So Shema's going to shoot from that barrel, and then let's see here. Okay, they can use that one diagonally, which is going to send him a little, and then roll off here, bounce off that vulture, jump down, and oh no, he jumped into a pit. But just kidding, there's a hidden barrel, and that's going to take him to the end of the stage, just like so many of these other barrels.
Yeah, this is one of the tricks that looks much harder than it is. It's really
that's super easy. You just roll off the edge there. Unlike getting into the exit door there, that is actually.
Yeah.
See? That nice jump at the end. All right, so this is a great stage. It's a shame we don't get to see or hear more of this stage because, I mean, look how beautiful it is. The music's great. So Shema's going to bounce off of the Kremlin there and go up, and he's going to have to switch to Donkey Kong again. Technically, there's a way you can do it without Diddy. I don't know how to do it, though. But yeah, that's a DK-only barrel, or it's intended to be, because he can jump a little higher than Diddy. And so he gets up there and again, warps a little bit ahead in this stage. And now these ropes are frozen. So Shema is sliding down, but he says, you know what? Physics be damned. We're going to jump up this rope continuously. The idea is that you're supposed to jump back and forth between the ropes to prevent the sliding down, but you don't need to do that. All right, here we go. Ice Age Alley.
Yeah, any mistake costs a ton of time in this stage, because if you lose espresso, it's over pretty much.
Yeah, you actually do not want to get the checkpoint in this stage because it is slower than just dying and getting espresso back. And as you see there, Shema was able to run through one of the Neki Juniors. Their hitboxes are weird, and you can kind of get past them if you are quick enough. I'm gonna jump over. That's one of the tricky parts right there, getting past the little clap trap. And then getting over this Mankey. Yep, land there. And then there's one more Mankey to deal with. Goes up and over, and he's fine. All set. Wow. Yeah, I'm very happy for you. That I've had so many problems with that stage and doing runs with this game.
I'm not sure if that's the official thread, but it's kind of my own thread too.
Hey, it's official for RETROTHON. How about that? All right, so so in this water stage, the bummer is that there is an on guard, but he's out of the way. It's actually slower to go get him. So Shema is just swimming and swimming and swimming. It's a very Dory stage because we're just going to keep swimming, which is great. We get to hear more of this wonderful aquatic ambience song. But yeah, this is basically just a very long plotting stage that Shema just has to follow the path of to get out of.
I had no idea he could go under that shark. That could have been bad. So this is the sniper one. Almost snipe meeting. One of those stages where you lose focus and then you die.
Yeah, there's like really not a whole lot going on, so it is very dumb happens. Losing a Kong there is somewhat beneficial actually, because one less Kong on the screen creates a little bit less slowdown when other enemies start to spawn. But obviously he's going to want Diddy for coming out of this stage because we're going to get back to doing some platforming.
At least for swimming, I think both Kongs are the same speed.
They move the same speed.
Also, fun fact, to swim up, you actually have to hold up and mash the button. If you just hold up, you won't be fast enough to escape these.
Right.
I'd never done it as a kid, so I always took damage.
Yeah, yeah. Also, holding down will allow you to move downward faster. Yeah. So, yeah. Pro tips. So yeah, if Shema went to the left there, he could go get on guard, but that will take longer than if he just keeps moving forward.
Yeah, there's not much left in this stage anyways, so it's really not beneficial to get him there.
All right, so for Torchlight Trouble, there is the bird Squawks that will carry a light. And A, we don't need that. Shema knows what he's doing and knows where he's going. So we're going to avoid it for that reason. But B, the light animation causes a lot of lag. So Shema's just going to avoid it for that reason as well. And get to this checkpoint here. Now he just has to avoid the not Arnold's. But they're totally Arnold's. There's some pretty tight landing spots here, only a few pixels wide to get past some of these guys. Definitely. Between the mincers and the arm. There's another stage that has some fun movement that you can do, where it looks like you have no hope, but you still make it across pits and whatnot. So there you go. He just does the cartwheel underneath, uses boost off. Look at that! Look at that speed he gets, and just rolls off the moving platform up onto the stationary platform. I love that about this game. It's very satisfying movement when you get away with stuff like that.
There's some super fun stages where you can just go wild.
It's the sort of thing that you see someone do. It looks like there's no way you could do it yourself, and then you do it like, oh wait, that's not so bad. Look at these great results. All right. Hey, remember this guy? This is naughty again, but now instead of just being able to be hit straight away, he's going to do some high bounces, incrementing up each time that he gets hit. So now it's 3. And then Shema can pop him again. He's going to move real fast too, but Shema's going to hit him before he has the chance to get loose. And that'll do it. Yeah, not just nothing to the bosses in this game. And then, well, sort of K. Rool at the end, sort of. Although, pales in comparison to DKC2 K. Rool.
But this is my favorite stage.
Yeah.
Rusty, so I cannot do it quite as well, but if you do it well, it looks super good.
Yeah, it looks great. It's super fun, and you get Fear Factory. Not the band Fear Factory, but this song is called Fear Factory. And it's great. It's my favorite in the game. You see the roll getting the momentum up off the Kremlins, the checkpoint, and now we'll see what sort of malarkey Shema could come up with for some of these jumps here to skip some gaps. So you see up underneath the barrel makes the jump out of the roll.
You can do it again later, but it's
yeah, it gets a little bit more perilous. Yeah. There are going to be some oil barrels that'll be on fire coming up. You saw a few of them there, but here's one. He's going to skip that, and you see the waiting a little bit. You have a little bit smaller hitbox with Diddy, which is probably somewhat obvious, but that allows you to really navigate across those barrels a lot more haphazardly than you can with DK. You can get to the edge and be on there for a little bit longer than you can with DK. Right there, that's another hidden barrel that's going to take us to the end of the stage. Just has to avoid the Mankey here, and yeah, no problem. Elevator antics. I think this was actually the stage that I was just asked about the super jump here, and you don't even do a super jump in this stage, so
no,
I don't know what I was thinking.
Definitely one of the hardest ones.
Yeah. So right here, you can do a super jump. That's what I do because I'm a coward. Shema is going to go through this stage honestly, and it will be very impressive. Basically what happens is there are a bunch of elevators that are going to be going up and down, and he's going to be timing them in such a way that it looks like there's not going to be anything waiting, but, you know, he's a pro. He'll make it work. There we go. All right. So Shema can't jump on the clumps. He can only roll into them. And there we go. Oh, hey, Necky Jr., settle down.
It's gonna be interesting, and I bet it does with Donkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does change the dynamic a little bit. So even though you can obviously roll with DK, it's not moving quite the same way as the cartwheel for Diddy. So it does change things around a little bit, but the clutch over the Necky Jr. there at the end. Oh, and Poison Pond, the worst water stage in the game.
I don't think anybody likes this water stage in particular.
Nope. I mean, you get the on guard, so there's that, but then just everything else is a little bit extra.
Oh, come on.
That's ridiculous.
Very slowly.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, these squids make your life a hell sometimes. Also, on guard tends to like auto charge sometimes when you don't mean to.
Yeah, as he nears enemies, he will go, and that can get you in real trouble if you're not expecting that or not wanting it.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is definitely a stage about knowing what's coming next and picking your spots when to move, because they throw a lot of mincers at you, they throw a lot of the squidges at you. Just the whole business. So Shema's actually going to skip this cycle here, and okay, so he lost the on guard, but gets through.
There's the just waiting.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You can get the cycle if you like press, I think, the charge at the right time, but I kind of missed it.
It doesn't matter because we're not taking on guard with us anyway. So, see you later. Minecart Madness. Now this stage is awesome. I will just let you watch what Shema. Pretty absurd. Who needs minecarts? Not us. That's who. Because now Shema's gonna do this, and just cartwheel his way across open, bottomless pits. So this looks ridiculous. Like, what on earth magic is going on? And it has to do with the setup that Shema did when he was getting into the minecart. You saw him jump off of the Naughties and switch to Donkey Kong, and then walk off the platform in such a way that the animation was killed from Diddy getting into the minecart. It was just Donkey getting in, and then whoop, Diddy teleports in. And when that happens, and you get Donkey killed, then when you pick up his Diddy, you're outside of the minecart, and you can just start controlling him like you're on ground. But all you can do is cartwheel and jump, because there's no platforms there, so you can't just run. So you can do that until you reach that first platform that you saw him stop at. That's as far as you can take into the stage. Then you have to ride the minecarts the rest of the way. So now he's just finishing off with that. But it's a very simple to set up trick. All you have to do is just keep going with your jumps and with your cartwheels, and you make it through and save a little bit of time. That's a lot of fun. Now Blackout Basement, which is always the first stage to deal with whenever you played this game in a while. So as you can see, the gimmick here is the lights keep going out intermittently, and Shema's just going to make it through as quickly as he can, stopping for safety here and there, but for the most part, he's just barreling through, no pun intended. So as you see, the enemies will continue to progress throughout the stage. We have the clumps now, and pretty soon those are going to switch over to the I forgot what they're called, the little chomper guys. I didn't say their name earlier. Clap traps, that's it. They're going to switch over to the clap traps, and obviously you can't roll. Coming up here, you're just navigating these moving platforms, the ropes that are switching back and forth. There's the clap traps.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh! No!
Not sure why I did that, to be honest.
Everything was going so well.
Yep.
You just had to throw one in, you know, give the game a little something for the effort.
Oh, wrong timing.
Yeah, see that you gotta wait, you gotta get that rope just right. And if your timing leading up to that rope changes, then you know obviously you're gonna get there at a different time. The rope's gonna be doing something different than you wanted to.
Maybe I should take that time a little bit here.
Gotta respect the blackout.
Yep.
Alright, so here we go again. And now we should be good. Yep, getting across. And these up and down platforms, more side to side here.
Yeah,
It can be such a
where you kind of breathe a sigh of relief, and I managed to die here.
Yeah. So he's avoiding these barrels, going to jump off this manky, and then there's going to be a bunch of Kremlins right there. They just claptrap at the end, no problem, jumps over it, and we're done. We're out of the blackout basement.
Thank God.
So this is, I guess, sort of a creative boss, although it's kind of weird because you just fight random enemies, basically. It sends them out two at a time, and again, the enemies kind of progress up as we keep going.
In this game. Like, it kind of seems like they ran out of gears for bosses, but they
I think they did.
Like the second boss.
Yeah. You're like, okay, let's make the game look and sound amazing. Let's have fun, wacky platforming that you can do. And we forgot about bosses. I don't know. What if it's just big versions of the other enemies in the game? Okay, cool. Like there you go. All you have to do is just kind of wait this boss out. After 5 cycles, it's dead.
Yeah.
All right, Chimp Caverns.
Coming up.
Our final main level of the game.
This is the longest stage in the game. It's not a hard stage, but any mistake costs you minutes.
Yeah. Yep. So Shema is going to keep his fuel up. And that's basically what we're doing in this stage. There's this great super jump that you... It would be wonderful if either of us knew how to do it, but as such, we're just going to go through the way that this goes here.
There's also a super roll in this one, which is even harder to do.
Oh, I think that's what I meant was a super roll. Yeah, not super jump, super roll. That's my bad. Yeah, that's a completely different technique.
Great music, though, as always.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, David Wise knocked it out of the park with this game. I don't want to surprise anyone. He's very good at composing video game music. But yeah, I love the entire soundtrack of this game. Very fond of great video game soundtracks. This one is very high on my list, and as well as DKC 2. So there is a zinger that looks like Shema won't be able to travel underneath of it coming up here, and we'll see whether or not he does. Coming up a little bit here. I jumped the gun. I saw the zinger start to spawn, and I... Okay, yeah, they're right here. Yeah, okay, so he jumped over it. That first one you can duck underneath of,
Oh, really?
even though it looks like, yeah, it looks like you're not supposed to be. It's with, but yeah, I often jump over it too because I'm like, even though I've done it like dozens of times, I'm still like, maybe this will be the time it doesn't work. And you don't want to, like you say, you don't want to die there.
Yeah.
All right, Manic Mincer. So there, we got to get to see another super jump here. This is actually a really easy setup. You just lose Diddy there, and again, you see him jump high into the sky. And now we're going to keep Donkey. We're going to swap over to Diddy, and then just walk off holding the jump and run buttons. And that's it. We just fly over.
I learned the stage.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a pretty hard stage.
Yeah, there's a lot to the stage because you have all those Mincer sneaking in where they do. It's just, you know, this is much easier, and it's not super slow. It's definitely faster than kind of meandering your way through.
Yeah.
Respond to stuff, you know, in time. You have to have the stage on lockdown. You can make it through a little bit faster than doing the super jump, but it's so much fun to do a super jump and just watch the stage scroll by.
Yeah, this stage can be super hard, especially there's like strats for the world record where you use the Rambo, whatever it's called. You see what happens if you hold jump for too long.
Yeah, there you go. And it's just a little bit of a delay for Diddy falling there. Misty Mine, we get to see another super jump. So thank you, Diddy, for your service. And here, again, really easy setup. Just switch to Diddy and then...
Not easy enough.
Oh, because you jumped instead of walking off, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go find a pit real quick and do it again.
Yep.
Although the pit's a little bit down the road, that's the only problem there.
Should be right here. I also learned this stage. It's also terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so there goes Diddy. Here comes Diddy again.
Killed that thing that I'm supposed to. It's fine. I'm just gonna do this stage.
All right.
It's been a while. Please.
Mist gathers. We actually do fight a mist dragon at the end of this stage. It's a crossover with Final Fantasy IV.
Another danger if you play the stage normally, like you usually pick up a lot of these golden things along the way, and this is the stage where you would accidentally gather 3 of them.
Right, and then you get booted into the bonus area.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for these armies, these little armadillos, because you think that you've gotten rid of them, and they will come flying from off screen and just wreck your day. And that especially can happen in I think it's 2 stages from now. So yeah, this next one is Loopy Lights, but then the stage after this, that's where those armies can be real tricky customers at times.
Yeah, they're not screwing around on these stages. These are definitely the hardest stages in the game. There's a little bit of RNG with these crocodiles when they jump. So it can be kinda, in some situations, a little bit frustrating if they just happen to jump into you.
Yeah, they more or less are trying to respond to what you're doing, but the timing can be in such a way.
Like the one that
yeah, you're moving forward and they're moving. You kind of end up beating in the for you as a player.
Managed to do this one as well.
You may not have noticed, but there was a Neki above, or whatever it is that they throw down. In my head, it was. So yeah, that's what took care of Diddy there. As you can see again, keeping the lights on is not strictly required for this stage. It makes it, I guess, marginally easier. You know, especially with some of the more densely populated with enemies sections, but not too bad elsewise.
And they throw a lot of those, like, end enemies at you, too.
Yeah.
Every stage has one.
Like, yeah, I'm done. Oh, what?
Yeah, just like an easy enemy at the end to screw you over.
Yeah.
And this stage is the Armadillo stage that enemy mentioned. It's
Yeah.
just...
The nice thing with Donkey Kong is that you can roll right in and put them down. With Diddy, you roll into them and it stuns them, and then you have to roll into them again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're going to primarily be using Diddy. So, yeah, we'll kite that one off, and then just, you got to keep moving. As long as you get away from the platform. But if you're near the platform still, they can roll off and basically mug you as you're going. So, yeah, okay, excellent. Shema just said, you know what? Let's roll. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, if you wait on this one for a second, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna go on your back.
And now there's a couple of platforms that we can skip throughout this stage, doing it the way that Shema's going to be doing it, which is great because there are a ton of auto-scrolling platforms to deal with. So you see right there, instead of going up that platform, Shema just rolled right across, and he's going to roll across these clumps as well. And bounce up here, and now he can just do the roll across there, which is a little bit more treacherous than bouncing off of the heads of those guys. So that was good out of Shema. And now here's really the section. This section was so brutal for me as a kid. And Shema is going to use his knowledge of this game to make it much easier by skipping a couple of extra platforms. So again, you need these barrels to deal with these Arnold because you can't roll into them, you can't jump on their heads. And they just says roll across right there, he skips, gets the stage done. That is an excellent job. That is minimizing the time that he had to spend on that auto-scrolling stage. That's great. So here we have the return of, I think it's Neki, whatever.
Yep.
And now you see just more, let's call them coconuts getting spat out. You just have to wait for them all to go away this time. And then you can jump up on his head, and that'll do it. Now it's all over except for the final boss fight. So we're gonna jump in and say hey to K-Rool. Another hot jam coming up. And then we'll sail away across the horizon. I wonder if there's anyone here who has never seen this game, where it's boss fighting. Well, one shot's long. Very rude. This music's great. Absolutely
Oh my god. Oh, bad.
Okay, so, you know, lost Diddy, but no problem.
Yep.
Nicely done. You should probably stop your timer. Yeah, so this is why I mentioned that. I think it's a mandatory joke to make about the false ending. I'm not proud of it, but it's what you do when you do commentary for Donkey Country. Because, oh my god, K-Rool is back! What are the chances? So now he's gonna hop around a little bit and still throw his crown. And he's gonna change his hops each cycle. I got one more hit yet to go here.
Kinda got the same animation.
Yep,
Donkey Kong.
pretty much. Yeah, it's always fun to jump behind him and mock him. And here we go with the banana!
This time.
Done. Would you call that a banana split? Actually, you do need to stop your timer now.
Oh, it didn't stop. What?
There we go. It was better than a 42-52, folks. It was all right. Dude, on zero notice, 42. Pretty awesome.
No, well, we kind of skipped the first stage in the timer, so it's a little bit weird.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. Be cool, man. No one remembers that. Still, regardless, yeah. Shema did this with like less than an hour of notice. Obviously, you see how long practice, and I can assure you, it's been a minute since Shema's played this game. Probably since RG Love when we did our race. So that's the last time I played it too. So, yeah, thank you so much, Shema, for filling in and doing this run.
With me.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this run. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Stay tuned because we have more great action here on RETROTHON all week long. Don't go anywhere else. Just keep it right here on Twitch. It's going to be great the entire time. Thanks everyone for watching.
See ya.